Well, we were supposed to have a tornado in western Washington tonight, but we didn't. So it looks like the 95% chance of not getting one won out over the 5% chance that we would. But it got me thinking about storms and tornadoes from a deconstructionist point of view. So I Googled, tornadoes and natural disasters and God, and I came up with this website that I'm going to explore more because it's unbelievable so far. It's called redeeminggod.com. And I don't know anything about it other than this one article. Storms are not from God. And it talks about how humans were enabled by God, or so the belief goes, to guide and control natural forces. But when we sinned, here we go, it all goes back. This is the greatest Christian out of all, is if Adam and Eve had just obeyed God, all of these things wouldn't be happening. That's the argument, right? We wouldn't have homelessness, we wouldn't have wars, we wouldn't have constant aggression against each other, we wouldn't have calamities like tornadoes and storms and hurricanes and tectonic shifts and volcanoes erupting and things like that. So when we sinned, we lost this ability of controlling nature, and nature spun out of control. It's all because of Adam and Eve. Due to sin, we lost control of the powers that control nature. Sin isn't even a real thing. It's a religious construct. There's no such thing as sin outside of religion. There are storms outside of religion, though. There are storms outside of religion. Sin cannot exist outside of religion. But it says here, due to sin, we lost control of the powers that control nature, and having spun out of control, they now wreak havoc on the world. That there is now disarray and chaos in creation. This transgression from Adam and Eve is the greatest out in the history of religions. It allows explanation for all the calamities, all the horrors of the world today. All these horrible things are happening because of Adam and Eve. And if humans hadn't been such diabolically sinful little peons and creatures, none of this bad stuff would be happening. So how do you like this? Again, this is from redeeminggod.com. First, when storms and disasters occur, they do not come from God. Storms are not sent by God. Storms occur because the forces of nature are out of control. Much of the work of God on earth is focused on protecting humanity from complete destruction at the hand of these destroying powers. Now, here's what's really, really interesting. We can never know, I repeat, we can never know. We can never know, which means we can't ever know. And that's kind of religion in a nutshell. We can never know. We can never know how many disasters have been averted, how many floods have been avoided, how many meteorites have been nudged off course by God. Meteorites nudged off course. So when meteors look like they're going to hit us and they don't, it's not that they break up in the atmosphere or end up in the oceans. It's that God is swatting them. This is like going back to the 1st century. This is going back to like Bronze Age beliefs that there's gods swatting the meteorites, just knocking them down. It's almost like Ronald Reagan in Star Wars or something. You know what I mean? It's Star Wars. We're going to get rid of these missiles. This is unbelievable. Again, I will repeat, we can never know, which means religion doesn't have the answers to much of anything. We can never know how many disasters have been averted, but we'll assume that they were. We'll say that they were, even though there's no evidence that they were. We can never know how many disasters have been averted, how many floods have been avoided, how many meteorites have been nudged off course by God. And when storms and disasters do occur, again, we can never know because religion doesn't know much of anything. We can never know what string of events and decisions by God, angels, and human beings led to that storm occurring. In other words, when destruction comes, it is always a result of a nearly infinite number of factors which we may never know. Again, it goes back to religion, never knowing anything. This is unbelievable. So we created all of this. Adam and Eve created all this for us, that we used to be able to control the weather. That was God's original intention, for humans to control the weather. Do you believe that? This egomaniacal God gave us the power? Come on now. This is just silliness. This is just apologetics. This is just coming up with excuses. So I should be grateful that we didn't get that tornado tonight, and it was God or the angels or both maybe swatting away, pushing away the tornado so it wouldn't touch down in western Washington. This is superstition. This is stuff that people in ancient times believed. not people today.